balloons, bazookas, boobies, bosoms, boulders, cans, hooters, knockers, melons, honkers, jugs, rack, tatas, tits, torpedoes, guns, bust, doorknobs, coconuts, and our favorite one, the girls. Welcome to the All About Breastfeeding show, where your host, Lori, highlights mothers just like yourself and goes beyond the surface questions and digs deep so they share not only their joys and happiness in their daily breastfeeding life, but also their pain and struggles and how they worked through them.
Welcome to All About Breastfeeding, the place where the girls hang out. Just Lori, episode number 54. Drying up your milk supply. Weaning, by definition, means to gradually take away, to detach. My personal and professional preference would be for moms who want to wean to do so gradually and with love. This would be an optimal way to go about the weaning process. However, there are times when this is not possible, and moms need to dry up their supply as quickly as possible. Today's show is all about the not possible, about drying up quickly, which is why I did not title the show Weaning, and I titled it Drying Up Your Supply. And yet, you will hear me use the term drying up and weaning interchangeably, because it just seems to be the most accepted and understood way of talking about this topic. And I refuse to have to stay the course always using the exact right technical term with moms. Lots of times, they don't care about our terminology, they just want help. And if they hear me best when using a term they are familiar with and connect to, I will do so to best meet them where they are at. As a lactation consultant, the assumption is that I only help mothers who want to breastfeed their baby. Of course, this is one of the most important things I do each and every day. Educate moms through classes, blogs, private consults, and now with podcasting. I also help moms with the weaning process or drying up their supply quickly. For some mothers, they hesitate to ask a lactation consultant for help with this. They just think that we're going to be upset or judge them. I recognize that there are many reasons why some mothers who have been breastfeeding and are pumping want to stop producing milk. Since this is a choice and not an urgent matter, she can do so gradually. While there are a few reasons why a mom would need to stop producing milk abruptly, these circumstances do arise. Usually it becomes a necessity because she has a medical problem or perhaps needs to take a medication that there are no other options and this is not compatible with breastfeeding. Sometimes a mom has had a breast abscess and can continue breastfeeding, and other times, for medical reasons, she can no longer breastfeed from one side, and she needs to dry up that side. Good thing our breasts are autonomous. What we do with one side does not mean we have to do the same with the other side. Yes, I am here to tell you that you can supply a full production, a full supply for your baby, nursing from just one side. I'm going to go backwards for just a minute before I move forward. I did want to mention that I will be doing another show on the topic of weaning. There are many reasons and circumstances that gradual weaning happens. Perhaps the mom decides she no longer wants to continue the process of breastfeeding and or pumping. Babies or children also self-wean by gradually spending less and less time at the breast. Sometimes mothers decide to purposefully night wean and continue to breastfeed during the day. Some decide to do daytime weaning and the baby or child only nurses first thing in the morning or the last thing at night. There is lots more to talk about the subject of weaning, and we will definitely do that on another show. When a mom tells me she has to wean abruptly, I do spend some time finding out why she has to stop producing milk. The fact is that there are a lot of times when moms are told they need to stop breastfeeding, and they really did not need to. There is a lot of breastfeeding mismanagement in the field of lactation, and I just want to be sure mom is making a fully informed decision. Talking this through is very important to me because by not talking about the process with an expert, some moms go it alone or get poor advice and cause problems in the process. I want every mother who needs to dry up to feel comfortable asking their lactation consultant on how to accomplish this goal in the safest way possible for their heart, their breasts, their baby, and their brain. As in many things related to breastfeeding, advising on the drying up and the weaning process is not a standard textbook, one size fits all. Trouble happens when this is the approach. My hope with initiating the conversation is that it will make it easier for mother to talk about what may be weighing heavy on her heart and her mind. This gives me the opportunity to answer questions and ensure that she is not following this course of action because of circumstances someone told her and that she has been given wrong or outdated information. This gives me the opportunity to suggest to her that if there's a medical reason for doing so, and I suspect this is not truly the case, that I am able to share with her the wisdom of getting a second opinion from an objective and knowledgeable healthcare provider. I am not pushy, nor do I try to bring in what might be my own personal bias or agenda. I also avoid giving a very specific care plan because it can be somewhat risky, as the advice may fit one person to a T and be negligent information to the next mom and baby pair. I am going to do my best to narrow down the process of weaning and then describe the most common ways of weaning. It is common for moms to want to wean from exclusive breastfeeding only, from exclusive pumping, and or to wean from breastfeeding and pumping. Additional variations come in when we need to think about how long a mom has been breastfeeding, how frequently she's been removing the milk, and how much milk she is making. For instance, if she's been breastfeeding for a week or so and making a couple of ounces every few hours, her weaning process will more than likely be quicker than the mother who has been removing the milk for 6 months with their baby and or pumping 8 times a day and removing 4 to 5 ounces each time. The weaning process is going to take her longer and perhaps need to be more creative with how to go about it and accept the fact that she cannot be done overnight. As a lactation consultant, I am there for the moms I work with no matter what. It does make it easier for me if this is something the mom really wants to do and is ready for this process. It breaks my heart, and I have to do my best to try and be as professional as I can, but when she needs to wean quickly for a health issue, or perhaps her baby passed away at a very young age, I do my best to remain professional, but sometimes I just cry along with her, and I've also learned that this is okay. I am a professional, and I am also a human being and a mother who walks alongside mothers with empathy, kindness, and compassion. It is the way I would want to be treated if I were in her position. While I do not want to give a one-size-fits-all template to this process, I do want to address the risk factor of abrupt weaning. Mothers may experience breast pain and moderate to severe engorgement, which can lead to plug ducts, which can lead to breast inflammation, which can lead to a breast infection, where her breasts will become very red, hard, sore, warm too hot to the touch, and if this continues, may very well lead to a breast abscess, which is incredibly painful and a significant health issue. This can sometimes be managed during an office visit and other times requires hospitalization for an incisions to be made and drainage to occur. Breast abscess, while certainly not common with breastfeeding moms, is a risk factor when abruptly weaning. Abrupt weaning causes major stress to the mother and can lead to depression as the hormone levels are more likely to take a drastic plunge, which tends to cause anxiety, depression, and severe mood swings. Abrupt weaning, which you may also have heard the term going cold turkey. This leaves a baby susceptible to an increased risk of infection. Overnight, they lose the comfort and closeness that breastfeeding provides. Some babies just don't take to a bottle or a cup easily, and this can cause stress for the mom and baby, particularly if the weaning is abrupt and there is no stored milk for the baby. Switching to formula can cause tummy issues for the baby. Finding the right formula can take weeks, and during this time period, the baby is very unhappy. The mom can also choose to use donated milk. I want to take this opportunity to talk about the what not to do's, which I still unfortunately see happening. These ways of weaning are typically old information, and we now know better how to help moms wean safely. If anyone tells you to bind your breasts, run, do not walk quickly away. This is such an old-fashioned idea which is no longer recommended because it can make you very uncomfortable and may cause plug ducts and mastitis. You can wear a supportive sports bra that is perhaps a size too large and wear that instead, but never bind your breasts. The milk gets all backed up, it's got nowhere to go, and it can lead to major problems. You do not want to take any medication for drying up your milk. This is not recommended as they can cause serious side effects. So, how can you safely wean? You can take some pain medication to help with the uncomfortableness and also with the drying up. When it comes to medication, you always want to discuss this with your physician first before taking anything. So decongestions such as Sudafed under the care of your physician can be quite helpful when looking to abruptly wean. Just as this medication helps to dry up other areas of secretion in your body, it also helps to dry up your milk. There are herbs that you can take, such as sage, to help reduce supply quickly. Wrapping your breast tissue with cold cabbage leaves, being careful not to cover your nipples, and changing the leaves frequently can also help to quickly dry you up. So decongestions, herbs, and wrapping your breast tissue are 3 things that you can use in conjunction with reducing the amount of times you remove the milk, and this can help you dry up rather quickly. So you're going to want to reduce the amount of times you remove the milk and reduce the volume of milk you remove each time, combined with any or all of the above methods. This will help you dry up your milk as quickly as possible. Since I see this as being quite risky to the mother's health, I urge you to seek the help of an IBCLC in combination with a breastfeeding knowledgeable healthcare provider to advise you on a very specific care plan designed just to meet your needs. You will be asked specific questions regarding allergies to medication or herbs, how much milk you are currently producing, how frequently you are removing the milk, and my greatest wish is that your emotional health, as well as any need to know information about your baby, will also be addressed. I am hoping that by laying out the details, you can begin to understand the need to not go this alone. There is good reason to work with an expert for abrupt weaning, as you will hear cabbage suggested, just like I did. But what if I don't have the ability to explore with each individual mom in the specific nuances for every situation? Just for an example, cabbage can work really great, but you do not want to use it if you have an allergy to sulfa. You may also be told certain herbs such as sage and peppermint will be helpful, but how you use it can be in direct proportion to how useful it is to you. Abrupt or quick weaning is our least favorite way to dry up your milk supply. However, if it needs to happen, I strongly encourage you to never go cold turkey, meaning just don't stop removing the milk, period, as this can put you at a very high risk factor for breast infection and mastitis. Worse yet is to listen to outdated advice to just stop removing the milk and bind your breasts. particularly if you have been breastfeeding for several weeks or more and producing 3 to 4 ounces every few hours. This is a huge setup for medical problems, and I urge you to not take this course. If you are weaning abruptly, please discuss this with your loved one, what you're doing, and have them rally around you for support. Because of the abrupt changes in hormone levels, specifically oxytocin and prolactin levels, you are at a risk for emotional difficulties that may cause you to feel loss or leave you feelings of deep, deep sadness, and may lead to feelings of anxiety and depression. This may happen whether you are emotionally ready to wean or not. You will want your loved one's help and compassion during this process. For more detailed information on the topic of abruptly drying up your milk, head on over to the show notes page at allaboutbreastfeeding.biz/Lori54. You can leisurely read all that I have just said, and then you can grab your handout, which will have more detailed information and links to reputable websites, which will go into more detail on abruptly drying your supply, as well as a great article by a mom who suffered from depression after she weaned her baby. Thank goodness there is more knowledge about postpartum depression after the birth of your baby, but not too many people talk about depression after weaning, which is a reality for some moms. Lastly, I would like to just remind us all, breastfeeding is not the only good thing you will do for yourself or your baby. In the words of Jill Churchill, there's no way to be a perfect mother and a million ways to be a good one. Thanks for hanging out with me on the All About Breastfeeding show. Until the next time, bye-bye. Before I end, I have 3 topics I would like to end this show with. The first item is, I love getting email and reviews from you, my listeners. The next best thing for me to do would be able to get to talk to some of my listeners and hear your feedback about the show. What are you liking? What do you want more of? Your thoughts on what I can do to make the show better, and any additional thoughts you have. If talking to me is something you would like to do, just go to allaboutbreastfeeding.biz/contact. Fill out the form and just put the word feedback in the comments section, and I will send you an email so we can work out a time to chat. The second item is an offer to pregnant moms. There's no reason for you to have unanswered worries or concerns about breastfeeding. Many have said that you would have liked to have the opportunity to talk to me before your baby was born, so you could go over certain things that may have been troubling you about breastfeeding. Questions about maybe your health, medication you're taking, maybe breast surgery you had, your nipple anatomy. Perhaps you have fears or anxiety about breastfeeding and you feel it would be helpful to talk it out before your baby's born. Some mothers just have a bunch of questions that could not be answered in your regular breastfeeding class because of time or privacy. Talking through things can help you clear the way emotionally for an excellent start with breastfeeding. If you would like to Skype me, all you need to do is go to allaboutbreastfeeding.biz/Skype to schedule your online prenatal consult. The third and last item is a reminder about my fabulous online breastfeeding mothers group for you to join. We are meeting for 8 Wednesdays starting May 11th. There is only room for 10 moms, so if you want to join, check out allaboutbreastfeeding.biz support for details about the group, what we're doing, and the dates, and how you can get involved. Until the next show, this is Lori saying goodbye.